Good morning, this is Francesca Evans from LymeOnline, bringing you up to speed with all of this week's top stories from the local area. Lyme Regis and the wider Dorset area continues to prepare for an anticipated large influx of visitors as coronavirus restrictions are eased this spring. Lyme Regis Town Council this week agreed to spend up to £21,000 of unplanned expenditure to ensure issues which arose from last year's increase in visitors are not repeated. In a report presented to councillors, Town Clerk John Wright said the lack of travel options available to the public last spring saw a different type of visitor in Lyme Regis, in particular an increase in young adults visiting the beach, sometimes staying until the early hours of the morning. While the majority of visitors were said to be very respectful, the numbers did result in issues including increased litter on the seafront and urinating and defecating in public due to a lack of toilet facilities. The council is now planning to spend up to £21,000 to extend the opening hours and cleaning regime at the Marine Parade toilets and to employ staff late into the evening to pick up litter. The police have already called for residents to continue to adhere to lockdown rules and remain in their own towns after last weekend's warm weather brought out the crowds. Dorset beauty spots, including Lyme Regis, were noticeably busier last week, and more than 100 vehicles had to be turned around due to the sheer volume of traffic in the Lulworth area, which was overrun with visitors last summer. In total, 31 people were reported for breaching the travel rules over a 5-hour period. Dorset Council is also concerned that incidents such as last year's Wareham forest fire, which destroyed 220 hectares of forest, could be repeated this summer unless people who use disposable barbecues and light campfires can be persuaded to act more responsibly. Meanwhile, local businesses are preparing to reopen, with several Lyme Regis pubs and restaurants having already announced that they will be taking up the opportunity to serve customers outside only from April 12th, before full reopenings on May 17th. Event organisers are also looking forward to the season, with Jazz Jurassica having announced it will be going ahead over the late May bank holiday. Lifeboat Week and Regatta and Carnival Week are also expected to go ahead this summer, although no official announcements have been made. According to the latest figures, there were 6 confirmed COVID cases in the Lyme Regis, Charmouth and Marshwood Vale area in the 7-day period up until February 26th, an increase of 4 on the previous week, and there were fewer than 3 cases in the neighbouring Uplyme, Kilmington and Colleton area. More than 260,000 people in Dorset have received a coronavirus vaccine so far, which is the equivalent of 34.2% of the county's population. Christchurch leads the way in the vaccines among the 55 constituencies in the whole of the South West, with an estimated 44.5% of its population having received at least 1 dose. The next highest figures in Dorset are South Dorset with 37.6%, West Dorset with 35.5% and Mid Dorset and North Poole with 35.2%. Lyme Regis Town Council has set out its objectives for the next 5 years following what has been a hugely challenging 12 months. With the coronavirus pandemic costing the council an unexpected £350,000 fall in income, there were concerns earlier in the year about the impact on the council's reserves. But the authority has nearly reached the end of the financial year in a relatively healthy position and is now looking ahead, releasing a corporate plan for the years 2021 to 2026. In his foreword to the plan, the Mayor said the council still managed to deliver many of its plans and commitments during 2020 despite the pandemic. These included improving Lamore Gardens, installing new beach huts and benches on the seafront, improving Henry's Way Play Park and supporting several local organisations with grants. The council has now outlined its objectives for the next 5 years, split into 3 priority lists. Major projects will include refurbishing the council offices, replacing the seafront railings and improvements to the old cadet hut behind Anning Road, which is now used as the council outside workforce's base. You can view the full corporate plan and objectives on the LymeOnline website. The latest crime figures released by police show there were 30 reported crimes in the Lyme Regis area during January 2021. These figures compare to 25 crimes the previous month and 35 during the same month last year. From the 30 recorded incidents in January 2021, 18 took place in Lyme Regis, 6 in Charmouth, 2 in Wootton Fitzpaine, 1 in Monkton Wild and 3 in Uplyme. Reported crimes included antisocial behaviour, criminal damage and arson, violence and sexual offences, theft and 1 incident of possession of weapons. In local sport, Lyme Regis footballers could be in action again by the end of the month if the players want to do so. Following news from the government that social sports could start again by March 29th, the Devon and Exeter League yesterday made the unexpected decision to kickstart the 2020-2021 season from that date. It was thought the league would follow the South West Peninsula League, in which Axminster Town play, to avoid the current season but to organise a few cup competitions. Clubs, however, will be able to choose to participate or not, and there will be no penalty if they feel they are unable to complete their fixtures. All matches should be finished by the end of May, but the league may be prepared to extend the season by a couple of weeks into June. The number of substitutes allowed will be extended from 3 to 5, and rolling subs will be permitted. There will be no promotion at the end of the season, and double headers are being encouraged, with games reduced to 1 hour. 2 of the Lyme Regis Football Club teams play in the Devon and Exeter League, but the first team and reserves have a number of fixtures to fulfil. Club chairman Howard Larkham welcomed the decision this week and said the matter would now go to the committee and they would be guided by the team managers with the view of players taken into account. Lyme Rovers, the club's third 11, play in the Perry Street League, which has yet to make a decision about restarting the season. Local cricketers will also be back in action from May 1st with a full Devon League programme, and Uplyme and Lyme Regis Cricket Club is already planning practice games for April. And finally, it may have seemed like all doom and gloom over the past 12 months, but the Millside restaurant in Lyme Regis is spreading a little positivity with the help of LymeOnline. The restaurant in Mill Lane has decorated its window panes with positive news stories which may have been missed or forgotten over the past 12 months, including many articles which are featured on the LymeOnline website and in our newspaper. The window display will be up for the whole of March before the restaurant's reopening in April, so if you need a little pick-me-up, make sure you pop down and take a look. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.